Coming to you from the studios of Galaxy Media. The #1 ranked podcast for entertainment news. The Stephen King Show. Now here is your host, Stephen King.
Welcome back to the Stephen King Show. On today's episode, I have for you self-cleaning is for more than just ovens, news of the weird, Facebook jail reform, new good news, and so much more. But first,
the news.
The 2023 NAACP Image Awards concluded Saturday with the final round of winners, including Black Panther: Wakanda Forever for Outstanding Motion Picture. Viola Davis won Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture for her stirring turn in The Woman King, while Will Smith took home Outstanding Actor for his slavery drama Emancipation. Angela Bassett was a triple winner, taking home Entertainer of the Year, Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Outstanding Actress in a Drama Series for 911. Prince Harry is inviting fans to a virtual event promoting his memoir Spare. Publisher Penguin Random House is producing a live-streamed conversation between Harry and Dr. Gabor Mate, author of The Myth of Normal, Trauma, Illness, and Healing in a Toxic Culture. During what is being called an intimate conversation, the two will discuss living with loss and the importance of personal healing. They will also answer questions from the worldwide virtual audience, with questions submitted when registering for the event. It takes place March 4th on Vimeo. James Corden's exit from The Late Late Show will arrive with a little help from wingman Tom Cruise. The Top Gun star will follow up on his prior appearances and attempt to top the over-the-top segments he has launched in the past. CBS has confirmed that a primetime special titled The Last Late Late Show will air at 11 p.m. on April 27th. Cruise will join Corden as the lovable Timon and Pumbaa from the Disney classic The Lion King, filmed last week during a performance in Hollywood. Other stars will also appear in the special. Get ready for the return of the Grinch. After decades of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas enchanting children and adults, the classic book is getting an official sequel. Publisher Penguin Random House will release How the Grinch Lost Christmas, an official sequel to Dr. Seuss's iconic 1957 book, on September 5th. While Theodore Dr. Seuss Geisel died in 1991, the team behind the book has emulated his style. The story picks up a year after the classic Grinch tale. The book's tagline reads, "The Grinch is back and ready to prove to the residents of Whoville that he's changed." And Nick Cannon says it's not up to him how many kids he ends up having. He's leaving it to a higher power. Speaking with Entertainment Tonight, Cannon said, "God decides when we're done, but I definitely got my hands full." The father of 12 also said, "At this point, he is so focused I'm locked in, but when I'm 85, you never know, I might have more."
Time for music news you can use.
Rihanna, her Super Bowl halftime show resulted in more than 100 complaints to the FCC over what some felt was an overly sexual performance. Examples? Quote, inappropriate touching and dance moves, very raunchy, and sick, end quote. Some also refer to gyrating and rear end grabbing, filth, and perpetual air humping. FYI, J-Lo's 2020 performance drew more than 1,000 complaints. Lady Gaga, the woman who was convicted in connection to the theft of her 2 dogs, has filed a $1.5 million lawsuit against the singer. In 2021, after Gaga's dogs were stolen at gunpoint from her dog walker, the pop star offered a no questions asked reward of $500,000 if the pups were given back. Despite her criminal ties to the incident, Jennifer McBride is still pushing to get the reward. Foo Fighters, Stern Pinball has announced a Foo Fighters themed pinball machine. The company released a trailer announcing the limited edition machine, which will be available for sale on its website beginning tomorrow. Cartoon versions of the band members appear in the clip, which is soundtracked by the Foo song All My Life. Rod Stewart, the famously thrifty singer, made good on the promise he made during a TV phone-in to pay for some folks' MRIs. Last month, he called in the UK show Your Say to vent his frustration about patients who were on long-term waiting lists. Friday, he covered the costs for 20 people who were scanned via a mobile unit in Essex. U2, the official trailer is out for the new documentary Bono and the Edge, a sort of homecoming with Dave Letterman, which hits Disney Plus March 17th. It features the late night host as he travels to Dublin to spend time with the two, who deliver an intimate concert and discuss their 45-year friendship. Brad Paisley, Friday on the first anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, he released the song Same Here, featuring a special appearance by Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Zelensky's contribution comes in the form of a conversation he and Paisley shared. Proceeds from the song are going to United 24 to help rebuild Ukraine. Luke Combs says his new sobriety song, Joe, was inspired by family and friends. Quote, kinda have a family history of that. I'm thankful to not deal with that as much because I have seen it firsthand. And Brantley Gilbert announced on Friday he'll release a deluxe edition of So Help Me God with 5 new songs. Arriving April 21st, it will feature Wrote the Book Around Here, Tailgates of Heaven, Bury Me Upside Down, All Over the Map, and Behind the Times. Coming up, news of the weird, but first, I want to know, where is the best or worst place you've ever slept? Send me an email to StephenKingShow@yahoo.com. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania just hit movie theaters. Ant-Man is considered the world's smallest action hero, just behind Tom Cruise.
Now back to the Stephen King Show.
Skip the drip. In what could be the most important product development since the self-cleaning oven, the maker of Ben & Jerry's ice cream say they're working on coming up with a way to stop your favorite summer treat from melting before you have a chance to enjoy it. That's right, the Unilever company says it is reformulating its ice creams in an attempt at making them melt at higher temperatures. But it's not all for the convenience of those of us who enjoy their products at the beach. It's part of the brand's drive to save energy and cut its carbon footprint. No word yet on exactly how they plan to do this, but experts say it probably will involve either adding starch to the mix or cutting its sugar content. The company's researchers hope they'll find the perfect formula to retain the taste, firmness, and mouthfeel of Ben & Jerry's and Magnum products. If it works out, they believe they can reduce the carbon footprint of its freezers in shops around the world by as much as 30%. Perfect, it melts in your mouth, not down your sleeve. Facebook jail reform. Good news, if you're one of those people who regularly spends time in Facebook jail, in the future, you might get off with just a warning. Facebook says it will now warn users when they break rules instead of simply taking away their posting privileges and tossing them in Facebook jail. For most violations, the first strike will result in a warning. If the company removes additional posts, users will lose access to some features. Facebook jail sentences will typically begin after the 6th strike. The old rules will still apply to more serious violations, like terrorism or child exploitation, and those offenders will face immediate restrictions. According to a spokesperson, the company says the changes are in response to feedback from users who complained that the penalty system needed to be fairer. Some users say they've been unfairly deprived of access to their accounts and, in some cases, their businesses for days or weeks at a time. What about people who commit crimes against the English language? Can they be put in jail? Because I still see that quite a bit. New good news. A sailor who spent weeks lost at sea, surviving largely off of ketchup, could have a new state-of-the-art boat coming to him. Ketchup giant Heinz is trying to locate Elvis Francois to gift him with a new boat. The company has posted a call-out on social media, hoping to find the sailor from the island nation of Dominica, and has reached out to the Colombian Navy, which rescued him, and to the man's own country's government. But so far, none of the attempts to find Francois have panned out. Heinz is now asking the general public to help with the hunt, posting online, quote, "We're hoping to spread the word far and wide so Heinz can finally gift the new boat to Elvis," end quote. Francois was repairing his boat in December when it was pulled out to sea. Lacking the navigational knowledge to return to shore, he spent 24 days adrift, surviving off a bottle of ketchup, garlic powder, and stock cubes, which he mixed with water. Apparently, he also lacks any knowledge about fishing. Two super smart twins, Gloria and Victoria, have been named valedictorian and salutatorian, respectively, of the New York High School for their exceedingly high GPAs. Neither of the young Einsteins has ever received a grade lower than 100. Oh, and when the dynamic duo isn't one-upping each other in the classroom, they're competing in 3 varsity sports, earning all-county and all-state honors for track. This fall, both will head to Yale University to study computer sciences. According to Gloria, the sisters use each other to improve upon ourselves in the way that iron can be used to sharpen iron. Hands up if you don't even know what a salutatorian is.
News. Of the weird.
A California man whose 3.97-inch tongue earned him a Guinness World Record has found an unusual way to put his unique muscle to work: painting. Nick Stoberl, who was awarded the world record for longest tongue for a male from tip to teeth in 2012, showed off his unusual painting skills during an appearance on the ITV series This Morning. He showed how he wraps his tongue in plastic wrap before dipping it in paint and using it to draw on a canvas. Stoberl has been given the name Licasso for his unusual painting method. He said his paintings have sold up to $1,200. A man was arrested after Memphis police say he ate 2 bags of chips that someone else had stolen from a convenience store. Reports say that on February 9th, a man got into an argument with a store clerk because she wouldn't sell him beer. The man then took an entire display of chips and put it into his car. While transporting the chips, several bags fell to the ground. After the suspect drove off, another man, Joseph Braswell, picked up 2 of the fallen bags of chips, which were worth $4.98. Minutes later, officers found him with crumbs on his face. Police reviewed the video footage and concluded that Braswell was aware of the theft and charged him with theft of merchandise less than $1,000. Hey, it's not called the 5-second suggestion. Coming up, self-cleaning isn't just for ovens anymore.
Like what you hear? Want to hear more? Click the link below and check out all the Stephen King Show episodes. Download, listen, like, and subscribe. Now back to the Stephen King Show. Science News.
Self-cleaning is for more than just ovens. While there's plenty of debate over whether touchscreens in cars are safe or convenient, there's no denying they're covered in more fingerprints than a crime scene. But according to a recent patent filing, GM has solved the problem. The automaker has invented a self-cleaning screen to save your sleeve from having to do the work. It's got a coating that will break down those smudgy prints after being activated by violet light from pixels inside the screen. There's a right time to exercise for a longer life. It's not news that exercise can help you live longer, but a new study of 92,000 people in the UK suggests that if longevity is your goal, you might want to get your workout in after lunch. The study found that people who work out between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. are less likely to die prematurely than people who #rise and grind. This upside of afternoon exercise was most pronounced for the elderly, men, people who were generally less active, and people with cardiovascular conditions. A promising new drug to defeat superbugs. Researchers at UC Santa Barbara have developed a new type of antibiotic that cures mice of infections from bacteria deemed close to untreatable in humans. Even more importantly, the bacteria developed almost no resistance to the drug. If the drug turns out to work the same way for humans, then it could be a big step forward, since the WHO considers antimicrobial resistance a huge and growing threat to human health, food security, and even the economy. Things you probably didn't know yesterday is next.
Need a new coffee mug? How about a new shirt or hoodie? Check out the Stephen King Show shop. Go to thestephenkingshow.securedecoration.com or click on the link in the description. Happy shopping, and thanks for supporting the show. Now back to the Stephen King Show. This is Things You Probably Didn't Know Yesterday.
You think that companies would value their workers who have face-to-face contact with their customers, but apparently that's not the case. A new survey found that 4 in 5 delivery drivers are experiencing burnout and fear they'll lose their jobs if they don't make all their drop-offs on time. What's more, 45% claim their employers don't give them all their tips. Another 54% claim their company doesn't pay them overtime wages when they're forced to deliver packages after their normal hours. Should we call them fed-ups? And some more things you probably didn't know yesterday. Studies show a 50% off sign increases sales, even if shoppers don't know the original price or what a reasonable price for the product would be. Aerosmith made more money from Guitar Hero than from any of their albums. Mountain Dew is slang for moonshine. It was originally created as a mixer for moonshine and whiskey in Tennessee. In 1999, PayPal was voted one of the top 10 worst business ideas. If your throat tickles, scratching your ear can make it go away. And cabbage was once considered an aphrodisiac. I have the answer to Thursday's question up next. Avril Lavigne and pop punk singer Mod Sun are no longer engaged. I guess he decided that he wanted to start creeping out other people.
Now back to the Stephen King Show.
Thursday I asked, 1 out of 8 adults don't know how to do this. What is it? The answer? Ride a bike. And today's question? 1 in 7 people admit that at some point in their life, they have done this twice in one day. What is it? Well, I'll tell you tomorrow. And I'll leave you with, count your age by your friends, not years. Count your life by smiles, not tears. Talk to you tomorrow.